You know, a lot of times people ask, well, why is it so significant to continue to host events around World AIDS Day? We've come so far, right? And while certainly I acknowledge that we've come tremendously far, I think that it's really important to remember that we've come as far as we have because of persistence.
For those of us who have been working in the field of HIV and AIDS for 30 years, I often think we should sit back on comfortable chairs and have people bring us foofy drinks and perhaps, I don't know, spritz us and play wonderful music and let everybody else do something for a day, because we've been doing it every day. But that's not the way it really works. You know, we celebrate World AIDS Day because we remember where we were. We remember our loved ones that we lost in this battle. We remember our commitment and become recommitted. And we're hopeful for an end of AIDS in our lifetime. That's why we do it.
It's important to recognize World AIDS Day every year because we see where we've come and we can look to the future. And when we have this big statewide initiative of ending the epidemic, it helps invigorate us every year and remind us why we're here.
You can walk into that room, see the quilts, see the young people, and it makes all the moving of the paper, the phone calls, and the meetings worth it because you see what that's all about.
We live in a society where if things aren't immediately terrible, we tend to forget. So because we've made so many strides with this illness in particular, folks, it's not a death sentence anymore in this country.
We are constantly looking for opportunities to provide education and awareness, to provide access to testing, to link and retain individuals in care, to increase access to the advancements that we've made, such as with PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis. And so honoring and recognizing World AIDS Day is significant because it's the opportunity for us to also reflect on the individuals that we have lost over the years.
You know, back in those days when the quilt was first being developed, a number of us moved into this field of work. We had a reason for moving into the field. And it's because of the names that are behind those panels, the lives that are behind those panels on the quilt.
The quilts and the World AIDS Day as a whole really showcase how far we've come and why we do this work today.
I think like most people, you question your job, you get frustrated and you think, is this really what I want to do? And then something will happen and it sort of reinforces that this is what I love. You know, with PrEP coming out and the U equals U, those are big steps for, you know, combating AIDS, and it kind of makes me happy that I'm part of that and seeing those changes.
The fact that New York State Department of Health and the Commissioner were able to look at that science, sign on to a consensus statement, and endorse the understanding that an individual with a sustained, undetectable viral load cannot transmit the virus is huge. It's huge from a treatment perspective, from a prevention perspective. It's huge in looking at its ability to impact stigma, both for persons living with HIV and for the population at large. And it speaks to how far we've come in our understanding of HIV.
This really has been a devastating disease, not only in this country but across the world, and that if we do forget, we're likely to go back to where we were. And we've made such great strides and such great gains that it's important to think about that for the future, but also to honor those that have been lost to this disease, because it's something that we just cannot lose sight of as we continue to do our work.